with our classes. So it is very unfortunate for me to say this. We were not able to meet up during this quarantine period, of course, because of the national level emergency which has been happened due to this COVID-19 issue. So irrespective of that, as we all have discussed in prior, so immaterial what the situation prevail, as students it's our duty to study, and as teachers it's our duty to teach you people. And of course that in your life there are some parameters, there are some set format within this existing education system where you have to progress in appropriate, and you have to cross over the milestones in appropriate timings, where that I feel whatever the occurrences in your life should not retard your progress, should not make you wait, should not make you lose your time, and should not make you feel that I will not be able to do so. The thing is, basic motivation behind your work is you have to believe in yourself. So that I will start with a quote for you all. So a man can be exiled, but not his ideology. A man can be imprisoned, but not his ideology. A man can be killed, but not his ideology. This was a quote given by Madam Benazir Bhutto, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan. Though she was assassinated, her ideology is still being spoken by us. Similarly, if you are being a worthy person, if you are being educated person, if you are a reputed person, so of course in time to come definitely people will be speaking about your ideology within this soil. So therefore you all have to have an intention that I will become a person of ideology where I will be spoken in the future. So with that, we are coming on to our topic in proper. So we are going to discuss about structure of matter. So when it comes to structure of matter, it's a lengthy subject wherein as many students have given comments according to my previous video. They have given suggestions to start on with grade 10 and to initiate with structure of matter. So I will come on to a common platform where we all can discuss. So myself and yourself are surrounded by many things. So because our surrounding has many different substances and many different items and equipments, and of course wearings and dresses, so everything is composed of something. So there is a general definition which has been given to this thing which has been made of this. Everything has a thing which has made those things. So that thing we have a coined definition for those. So that is everything which occupies the space and has a mass. Something should occupy the space and it should has a mass. Should have a mass. So if it has a mass, we call it as a matter. A matter which would have occupy the space and it will definitely have a mass, then it will become a matter. So whatever surround yourself is made some form of a matter. So my clothing is made of cotton, and my pen is made of plastic, and my ring is made of metal. So different substances are around us. So this matter is composed of different things. So we will look on how we classify these things, right? So we can differentiate these two elements, that means the substances according to, or the matter according to its way of behavior, how it behave with other matter. One matter, one kind of a matter, how it reacts with some other matter, some other substance. One thing, how a thing reacts with something else, right? And similarly, we will look on what that matter itself is constituted of, right? What that matter is constituted of. First way what we gonna do? First we gonna do is to differentiate this matter according to first thing how it is being composed of, and how it is showing its properties, what is inculcated of. We call it as it's how it is waiting, how it is waiting, and how it is existing in the space, right? So first one is we gonna discuss how the matter is available in the space, how the matter is available in the space. We call it as the physical property of the matter. According to that, we will be differentiating matter. And next thing is we will be looking on what that matter is composed of, what it has, and how it behaves with others. We call it as chemical property, that chemical composition of the matter. So first we gonna differentiate substances according to what? Physical property. And next what we gonna discuss is how the matter is differentiated according to the chemical composition. So when it is coming to physical property, so I will plot on to a graph, and so I will be briefing so you all can listen accordingly.
Well, according to the matter, so it exists as in the nature naturally, where we can differentiate the matter according to their physical nature and according to their chemical composition into two categories. And we'll look on further. So first we are considering about the physical nature. Here you can see I have divided into three groups according to their physical nature. First is the solids, next liquids and gases. So you see as solids we can identify gold, wood and brick are being coined as solids, and wherein as liquids we have given examples as milk, blood and coffee. So similarly for the gases, as you can see, the helium, xenon and neon, I have taken examples: helium, xenon and neon. They are gases. So basically this is how we can divide the matters around us according to their physical nature, how they have been compacted in the space and how they exist in the space. All right. Yeah, now you see the uh, chemical composition, how we gonna classify them according to their chemical composition. So when it is coming to chemical composition, it is like this. There are two basic kinds: pure substances and mixtures. So the concentrate on to the leftmost part. As pure substances we can identify elements and compounds. The elements and compounds, elements and compounds, when we consider the elements, they exist as their own. That means the element itself exists as a single atom or combination of that element of the atom of the specific element. So I have given example as iron, copper and oxygen. So you all know how copper, iron and oxygen exist in the space as themselves. And when it is coming to compounds, next compounds are the things, the combination of two or more elements. So by combining two elements, the compounds will be produce. So example is water and carbon dioxide. Water is made out of the element is hydrogen. Elements are hydrogen and oxygen. Combination of hydrogen and oxygen produce water, where the combination of carbon and oxygen produce carbon dioxide. So the other type is mixtures, where these pure substances mix together to produce mixtures. Excuse me. So where we can classify as homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. So the difference between this homogeneous and heterogeneous concept is, so when it is coming to homogeneous, in a homogeneous mixture, if we take a sample, wherever you take, there will be equal number of the constituent who are contributing to make the mixture. So we can find equal number of contributing elements or compounds for the mixture. We can identify equal numbers. So when it is coming to heterogeneous mixture, if you take a random sample from that mixture, so wherever you take 2 to 3 samples and check, that the constituent of the mixture will not be identical from every place. So for the homogeneous mixture, as I given, salt and water, sugar and water. So if we mix salt with water, wherever you take, there will be equal number of salt and water. So if you take sugar and water, if you take one sample from anywhere, that it is same number of sugar molecules and water will be identified from every place. Simultaneously, in a heterogeneous mixture, so there will not be like that. So if you take one sample another, there will be different number of molecules from different samples.
Before concluding today's session, I would have to get into an approach of the next element which we are going to discuss tomorrow. So this is what it is about. This matter is basically composed of atoms, right? So atoms are basically tiniest particle of whatever the thing which is being made around us, where that atom itself has 3 types of small tiny particles. We call them as neutrons, electrons and protons. So that in Ernest, according to the explanation given by Ernest Rutherford, in his explanations he has given that atom prevail as in a planetary model, like our solar system. Sun is there, all the other small planets are surrounding around the solar system, the sun, and it evolves and it revolves around what? Around the sun. Sun is in the middle and all the planets are revolving around the sun, where we call it as the planetary model. Similarly, he came up with an idea where the nucleus is there in an atom. Within that nucleus, there are neutrons and protons, and the electrons are moving around this, revolving around this atom. So this is the concept he has been brought forward. So tomorrow my video will be based on the atomic model of the elements. So we will be discussing how it has been occurred. So let's meet up tomorrow with a similar kind of a video. Thank you.